charge the data. Now this is, right now the balance is real healthy for Verizon in that anytime we can offload some of the network traffic and still keep our customers happy, that's the win-win. But we also have a high degree of profitability from a revenue per user based upon you. So that, and so and others like you. So we don't want too much to go to Wi-Fi because then then all of a sudden we start to dilute our position on data revenue, which is, that's a big ticket item for us. Now there are efficiencies in LTE that are better than 3G. And then we've introduced, or we've announced, and we will be introducing a technology. It's a multicast wireless technology, which is again an opportunity for consumers to consume content and data without pressure on the network. So there's going to be a significant number of modeling opportunities, and depending on how behavior occurs and then the network traffic issues, then content providers are going to look at it and they may see the network as an opportunity to advantage themselves. So you could see a scenario where you've got a multitude of direct-to-consumer content providers. So let's take 3 examples. One example would be a Netflix. Another example would be a ESPN Go type of position, and then a third being Major League Baseball's out of market, their .TV position. Each of those organizations have a vested interest in making sure that their content reaches their consumers as many times as they can. They may come to us and say, what can we do to create a data mediation plan? And so a data mediation plan would be those customers who consume Netflix content wouldn't be charged for that data. So there may be new business models. They don't exist today. And we'll talk about it sometimes publicly as an organization, but quite frankly and candidly, ESPN's not coming up to us today and saying, you know what, we'll write you a big check, so that in reversing that model. They're used to the big checks going the other way. So, I don't know if and like I said, that's a rough sketch because it was a, complex question.
Any questions, please?
Well, I think
Could you please state your name and affiliation?
Ellen Riley, just an individual. And Ellen Riley. So last year, believe it or not, Verizon was a discussion about pricing and infrastructure, and could they afford to? How long can they afford to support their consumer focus without charging more? So the models. So I guess, on one way we're avoiding that discussion, but it's a big factor. So I'll be curious. And the reference last year was that you're more similar to potentially airlines. So in the long term. So I don't know if you have a comment about that or not. So you're saying it's profitable, but for how long?
I think that's the insight, and obviously, we don't know that answer, but I think if you look at the fixed facilities on the wireline side of the business, what you see there is you see a significant amount of video traffic going through broadband that we're not monetizing. So on the wireline side of the business, it's a real complex and compressed business model in that we have market share battles that are based upon triple play pricing, which is great value for the consumer, but we're in a fixed price for that broadband offering, but the consumption over that broadband offering continues to increase over time. So as the devices become more complex and content being served from the cloud, it's tremendous value for a customer to be, we've got a 75, 35 meg service, and a customer can have that. They get high resolution video, and it's great, as good as the quality of the device is, and we're not participating in that revenue stream at all. Now we're making nice, it's nice recurring revenue, but I think right now, we need to figure out a way in which we can generate more, go up the stack is what we say, internally, generate more revenue from that broadband connection based upon services, and likewise on the wireless side. So to the extent that we can start to participate on services that we can provide to either businesses or consumers that help monetize the network beyond just data, then we're going to be healthy. But if we're just relying on data plans, then your point's well taken. It is unsustainable.
And, okay.
I'm going to give Terry's voice a break for a second and bring Microsoft into this conversation. With the anticipated removal by the Federal Aviation Administration of restrictions on use of mobile devices on airplanes, do you see any plan for Microsoft and the Surface in terms of advertising or product development?
I could decouple those.
Okay.
There's plenty of opportunity for Surface generally as a product, in all the places that you see those fruity devices, you could see some Surfaces over time. Separately, I think relative to the FAA changing the rules, one advantage is that all those people who don't turn them off anyways won't have to feel guilty about that anymore. Really, predominantly, that's I think the bulk of it. It will simply allow people to read their Kindle during that 10 minutes before takeoff that to sort of annoys people and turn it off. It also means the flight attendants won't have to say things like, you can turn on your Wi-Fi, but be sure you don't have anything that transmits or receives turned on in the same sense. I mean, other than that, I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Questions from the audience? Yes, please. In front of Bob. Your name and affiliation, please.
My name is Zachary Smith. I'm with RFP, and my question is mainly to Terry about this one comment about which is that, sorry, I'm meeting it really. I'm curious because the comment came out, which is essentially the business model of providing data as a package or whatnot to the home could be unsustainable with more devices connected and more bandwidth going on unless you go up the stack to participate in other revenue streams. I think this has been something, again, from the hosting data center standpoint, where we've had a similar challenge, whether it's in delivery of content, storage requirements have gone through the roof, but so costs have also fallen, right? We have a Moore's law of sorts. Are you not having such a Moore's law in telecom? Where you can continue to offer more bandwidth and still have a healthy business?
If we reverted to that cherished position of monopoly, the answer would be yes. But the challenge is that because the triple play is still the predominant way in which we market our services to win market share, then we've got to balance that with the content costs for that video